Hello, in this video I will run through how you can use a TX gateway to periodically send data from a sensor into a SQL server. Okay, so what I'm using over here is actually a TX700D connected to a S15S humidity and temperature sensor from Banner, and I will be connecting it to my computer. Okay, who will be acting as a MySQL server. Okay, so firstly, the prerequisites is go to the TX700D main console, the configuration, and make sure that the version, the firmware loaded into it is at least 1.3.8. Okay, and secondly, make sure that your software for the TX Visual Pro is actually at least 4.5. Okay, so that you can have run your database code also. Okay, so now after you bring it up, the third software that's required is actually your MySQL. So install MySQL onto your local server, into your local computer, and you can actually view the data inside um, the database using a workbench, which will allow you to easily check through what is happening, what are the data available inside your database table. So for example, I have here, this is an example file. I can actually easily just right click and see this is a database full of actors and their first name and last name. Okay, so and okay, but we will not focus on this for now. Okay, so we will focus on the TX Visual Pro. Okay, so firstly I'm going to open up and going to load a file to easily look at the sample to begin. Okay, so this is the project file that I have over here, and it already has a pre-configured to take in data from the sensor and convert it into the humidity and temperature reading. Okay, so now how do we see the interface is we have to use this software called VNC Viewer. Okay, and you can log in directly into the gateway screen by keying in its IP address. Okay, so for those who are not familiar, you can key the IP address over here and it will be saved onto the system itself. Okay, yeah, whatever happens here is will be the same as happening on the screen or the internal screen of the hardware. Okay, so I'll highly recommend this option over Web Visual, as there will be extra debugging options. So for those who are not sure how to activate it, you can go to service and you can go to VNC service. Make sure this is enabled for you in order for you to use this VNC software. Okay, so without further ado, let me show you. If I cover the humidity sensor, you can see on top right, the humidity reading will change after a while, will increase. Okay, and if I take it out, it will decrease after some time. Okay, so that means at least the basic function is working. So now, how do I link it up to a database? Firstly, we need to create a database. Okay, so go to your workbench. Okay, right click, create schema. Okay, for example, I have a TX test. Okay, I create a name for the schema and run the code. Now it is here. If you examine over here, you can see the tables. There is no tables yet. Okay, so we need to initialize the tables available to this schema. How can we do that? So firstly, go to your buttons. We're going to create a simple button to do this function. Okay, and then maybe I'll just change the name. Init sorry, okay, init, and then I will create on the mouse click, I will initialize a database, okay, using db init. So what is this link name? Aha, so you need to configure the database, okay, the connection to the database. Okay, so yeah, I missed that step, so let me go to, so for this newer version there will be a tab over here for database link, and then okay, if you right click, yeah, you should be able to disable. There will be a option for you to enable or disable this. Okay, so just enable this and you'll be able to configure from here. Okay, then if step plus, okay, change, okay, wait, let me turn off the camera, it's distracting. So let me change the type of database you're using. Now key in the IP address of your computer, okay, as your TX gateway would be looking for your computer, will be looking for the server. Okay, so as the server is my computer, I will type in the IP address of my computer and type in the port for the SQL server. How do you tell if you're doing the same as me, testing on a MySQL workbench? You can simply go to the home page and you check the small port over here. My port is 3306. Okay, so can come over here, 3306 username. For those of you who created a user when you're installing the workbench software or the MySQL software, yeah, please key that in as well. And lastly, database, please key in the name of the database of the schema that you created. Okay, so in my case it's TX test. Okay, so key in this name that you created. Okay, so now that's it. Okay, so we will go to the page. Over here we create, and on mouse click, this time we should be able to do the initialization, link up to name 1. Okay. Okay, so now we have a very weird name over here, but it's okay. If you go back here to the database link, you can change the name. Let's just say db link. Okay, yeah, the good part about this software is that it automatically change everything for you. So if you go back to the page, you should see that, yeah, my link name has changed also. So you're not using any custom query, so we can leave it blank. Okay, now one more thing that you should always have is actually you pull up one button. Okay, we should be able, we're going to create a context menu so that we can log the data, we can look for any error message. Okay, so now save, and I'm going to download the file inside. Okay, gonna test the connection. Okay, yeah, so once the download is complete, if you bring up your VNC software, you see it's updated with the 2 new buttons. So what is this for? As mentioned, okay, if your logging is already ticked, you can untick it first. Okay, if you go here and make sure, okay, click on logging, wait for a while, and you can see there is a logging menu that comes up. Okay, this will tell you if there is any error for you to debug. So let's just say, let's initialize our database. Okay, so you clicked it and there is no response, means it's probably worked properly, else there will be some weird thing. Okay, like for example, if I click the initialization a second time, you tell me you give me an error message that the table is already initialized and has been created for you. Okay, so that's, yeah, so this is the benefit of having a logger a context menu to bring up the logging. Okay, so now if I go to the workbench, okay, can see on my TX test. Okay, right click, set as the default schema. Okay, now if you click the refresh button, you should be able to see there is 4 new tables over here. Okay, so let's just say, let me check what is within the rows itself. If I right click and I see that the table has been created, but there is no values inside. Okay, so now we'll put in new values in shortly. Okay, so back to the screen. So how do you put in new values in? It's actually just as simple. Let me copy and paste over here. Okay, okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna write the data from the humidity and temperature into the database itself. Okay, so what we're gonna do is change, instead of db init, instead of db init, we are going to do a db write tag. Okay, link name. Okay, we're not doing any custom query, and we can choose what are the tags that we're using. Okay, so a lot of text has been created. You'll see what here. So at least for my case, we'll be using the humidity and temperature. Okay, for these are the these are the tags that are connected directly to my Modbus polling. Okay, so now over here, okay, so let me check the setting again. Okay, so now with this, I created a simple reading button. Okay, so now let's just say if you want to writing function. Okay, let's just say you want to read data from the database itself. Okay, you can also do the same thing, read, and then from here we're gonna do, let's just say we're gonna have we're gonna keep a few local variable to save the data. Okay, yes, let's just say, oh yeah, I previously have already created my local variable. This is local humidity. Okay, and over here I'm gonna change it to, I'm gonna link it to a local temperature. Okay, so in this case I want to write the value into the database. Okay, and then after that maybe I try to read it back. Okay, so if I go in over here, I will see, oh sorry, yeah, I'm gonna change, instead of reading, we're gonna instead of writing, we're gonna do a read on the same link tag. Okay, I'm gonna read into these two variables. Okay, okay, very straightforward. Okay, so now save, and I'm gonna download to the target. Okay, okay, so now that is done. I bring up my PNC. Okay, every time you download there will be a lot of logs. Okay, so now just to check again, you can see if I run my code, there will be nothing until if I press, if I write the data in. Okay, I press it once, and then select. Yes, now my temperature and my humidity data is updated into the yeah, into the SQL server itself. Okay, so let's just say that I cover the sensor. Okay, okay, I cover the sensor and my humidity is going up. Let me write it in again, no problem. Now will it get updated in the function? Yes, the server is updated. Okay, so this is a very simple application of a manual reading and writing using TX700. Okay, so next what I'm gonna do is oh wait, where is it? Okay, can we already saw my answer sheet. What is this? Oh wait, sorry, let me pause the video for a while. Okay, apologies for the wait. Yeah, so yeah, there was too many tabs already. Okay, so yeah, I forgot, I wanted to show you another thing. So now back on the screen, remember we create a read button and we're gonna create a write button. Now we test the read. Okay, so you can see that the reading, after I press the read button, it remains 0. Why is it? A bit weird, okay, let's just say, yeah, so whenever, okay, so let's just say that not sure whether I mentioned it just now. If you encounter if there's any actually SQL syntax error, there will actually be a error message. So in this case, my writing and my reading has no problem. So why is it that my reading is not working very well? Yeah, that is because when I'm reading, what I try to do is I'm trying to read for, you go to the database, it will look for text that is called local humidity and local temperature. Okay, and it will update it if it is value. However, our database do not have such thing. So now we're a bit stumped. How should we even get the data? Yeah. How are we supposed to read data out? Okay. Yeah. Is it even working? So now I'm going to manually add 2 rows in. Let's just say, as mentioned, this is a local humidity, and I'm gonna add some, maybe a lucky number. Okay, local humidity, and I will apply. Okay, let me add it in. So now it will be able to find the local humidity and update the data. Okay, so I go back here and I read. Oh, not working. So weird. Well, how about I need to add in a local temperature as well. Okay, so remember the names must match. Okay, so local temp and local temp. Okay, it doesn't work if the names doesn't match. Okay, so go in. Now maybe I add it in, apply, finished. Okay, so now those two tag actually these 2 rows actually exist in the database. Will my code work this time? See, a little bit hiccup. So what's wrong? Well, it's probably due to a difference in the caption. Okay, so now see, So you can see that it's not just, it's affected by a few things. Okay, so firstly, if one of them is wrong, like if you're looking for data from two tags, if as long as if one of them is wrong or missing, you will not be able to get any reading at all. So it must be completely correct, okay, for all the tags that you are requesting for. Okay, so this is a very simple application for reading and writing. So now, as I mentioned, the goal of this video is to show how you can periodically do it, okay, and hopefully automatically instead of just clicking this. So what we can do is we will need to create a code. Okay, we will create a code on the what's it called? Yeah, TX Visual site that will periodically run and check for any difference in the humidity and temperature and update the server accordingly. So now what we're going to do is, firstly, to have recurring code, you need to go to the scheduler, have high recurrence, okay, and then now we will create a JavaScript that will continuously run. It will always run every maybe 1 second. Okay, so after you create this, you'll notice that on your project property there will be a new part where you can bring up a script. Okay, so in this case, to save you time looking at me, okay, I have already created the code somewhere else. Okay, so here is the code that will be running. Is that okay? What I will actually do is I'm actually getting the data from the tag humidity and temperature, and I will also get the tag from, okay, I will also get the data from two other tags, which is meant to store the data of the previous temperature or the data from the previous humidity. Okay, basically I will compare the value between the temperature and the temperature like a moment before. If there is any difference, okay, I will do a database write and okay, do a database write to update the value, and then after that I will set the tag. Okay, I will update the previous tag with the new data so that so that you can wait for the next time it changes. Okay, so it's a very straightforward code. You can pause the video here and think about it. Meanwhile, let me run the script. Okay, okay, so now okay, everything is here. Can see there is no problem. We'll try to look out for if there's any problem with the if there's any error message. Okay, so meanwhile, let's just see. Okay, let me bring up the camera. Okay, so we can see that if I select, you can see the humidity has changed. If I cover from the top right hand corner, I cover and I change the humidity value, you'll see that it is updating as accordingly. Maybe not so fast, at a slower rate, but yeah. Okay, if I release my hand, and yeah, the humidity will drop after a while. Okay, yeah, you can see that I have wet hands. Okay, so this is a very simple application. Now what I'm gonna do next is actually, okay, so one more is actually to talk about a bonus. Okay, so let's just say that you do not want to write into new table, you want to write into an existing table. So in this case, I'm going to attempt to write into the sample table that came along with the database. Like for example, this is a database that contains actor data, the first name, last name, and actor ID of the data. Okay, so if you want to write data into the new into another SQL table, you must follow its schema. Okay, the different columns, all the columns must be filled. Okay, so what you can do is also, okay, so what we're gonna do is, okay, we can do it in the page over here. Okay, so let's just say I'll just create a button here. Yeah. Schema. Okay. Or rather, oh sorry, not right to schema, right to actors. Okay. So now can see. Yeah. Oh, okay, can. Yeah. So I'm gonna create. When I click on this data, I will run a JavaScript. Okay. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So for button 5. Okay, I have already created the code over here. So okay, let me can see. So in this case, because we are writing to a different, as mentioned, we will need to follow the schema, the rules, the number. You need to follow the schema of the database. That means we need to write more than just the tag name and the value. You must also follow a number, and you need to follow a number, as well as the first name, last name, as well as a timestamp. Okay. So in this case, I have a custom SQL code, and okay, and I also need a database link to the new function, to the new data, to the different database, not new. Okay, so go to database link, just like you learned before, MySQL. Write in the IP address of the server, port, password, and lastly, in this case, the name of the database is Sakila. Okay. Sakila. Okay. So same. Let's see. DB link 2. Okay. Yeah. Same. So this is, I'm linking it to the database, and I'm going to write my local humidity, wherever is here inside. Okay. Into the data. Well, while we are doing this, why not let me adjust this for a while. Okay. Okay. Configure. Ayo. Why now I cannot even see the thing? Terrible. Properties, yes. Okay. What happened to the properties? I need to pin it down. Properties, pin it down. Okay, can. Okay. What was the code again? Local humidity, yes, local humidity. Okay, properties. Okay, if I make it to read write, I'll be able to configure the data here also. Okay, so now let's just say download to target. Okay. Okay, so at this point in time you should see that okay, no problem. Okay, I'm gonna write maybe 777, enter. Okay, I'm gonna write this value, and I'm going to write the value as well as the tag name into the database by pressing this, by using the DB write. Okay, that's good. Clicking it once have no problem. Let's see if I click it a second time, then there's a error on duplicate entry. Yeah. Okay, but well, it's a good sign. If I go to the Sakila, okay, if I run the row again, we should see that I will have a new entry on local humidity. Yeah, well, this is how. Okay, so you can see I have successfully written my sensor data into a different database with a different schema. Okay, so for such application, just make sure you follow the format that is required of you, and you should not have too much problem. Okay, so that's all. Hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, if you need further explanation, you can contact me. Bye.